I tried putting this gold leafing pen, but I have to find a new one. This one was old and it looks like that, but it's just an indication on where you're gonna put that middle section, and the remainder is gonna be where you're gonna put your poinsettia with the leaves. I painted this already in color pencils, and I'm gonna include the photograph of the painting in color pencils. We're gonna now paint it with traditional acrylics in here. Okay, we're gonna start with the one in the middle, and we also need to have some, and I didn't put some of the titanium white. We can put warm white and titanium white. I'm gonna put that on my palette and I will be right back. These are the colors that I'm using. This is medium red rose, then naphthol red, permanent alizarin crimson, diaxoxan purple, carbon black, warm white, and titanium white. And we're gonna start, and we have a highlight on this one. Take a liner with the medium red rose, and you are going to put a line where you want your vein. So the vein is gonna come from here, and it is going to be very dark next to the vein line, and we are going to put, for that very dark color, we are going to put the permanent alizarin crimson plus a tiny bit of black. So permanent alizarin crimson, and I'm going to use a small brush. This is a number 4 flat, and I'm going to dress my brush, and the way I dress my brush is I dry all the water from the brush, and I take a tiny bit of extendant and I blot in a paper towel, and now it's dressed with extender. And I'm gonna take the alizarin crimson plus the black and make a very deep red color, which I'm gonna put next to this very deep red color. Now I'm gonna go to the medium, which is permanent alizarin, and I'm gonna paint the medium color. And I need to go already into the naphthol red light. It's getting too dark. Naphthol red light. This is the first coat of color. We're gonna be glazing more colors. This is naphthol red light. That's where the white is gonna go. So I'm gonna go to warm white. I'm gonna start building that white in there. Permanent alizarin crimson with the black in here. I'm gonna wipe my brush, and I'm gonna dip into that medium red rose. Oops, that was too much. And start building that color. Again, everything is wet, and I'm putting my medium red rose, and it's lighting in this because it was too dark. Painting this for the first time with these colors, and I don't really know what I'm gonna do until I start doing it. Now I'm gonna wipe my brush, and I'm gonna go again in that medium red rose, especially in here, and build it. I'm gonna go to medium red rust plus warm white and keep building that highlight in there. Wipe my brush so I can blend this. Again, I'm gonna go to the medium red rose plus the white, warm white, loading my brush. I'm gonna blend with the medium red rose. And after red light, still blending. Remember, when you get to this area, it has the permanent alizarin crimson. I still want to have showing some of that naphtha red light in here. I'm gonna probably have to use a dumb round brush to mop this, and this is probably gonna have to be glazed again. I'm gonna put some of this medium red rose in here. And some of that naphtha in here. When it starts turning and it's sliding here, and we have to finish this first coat of color, and then we can glaze more of those lights. I'm gonna go to naphtha red light plus carbon black, and this is a section that is very dark. Okay, and then let's take some of that naphtha red light with a tiny bit of alizarin. Start making it lighter. It has a green border, and I am putting some of the red on top of the green border. Make sure you don't do that. Keep that line in there. Okay, I cleaned that green border, and let's see, we're putting the dark, the alizarin plus black, and we're gonna put it in here. There's a section of lighter color, so we go to the naphtha red plus a tiny bit of the medium red. This is where the light goes. Trying to continue building that in there. That's the medium red plus the naphtha red. I'm going to mop it. This is the two color, the light, which is the medium red plus the naphtha. So some areas you can put lighter color, and other areas you're gonna put the permanent plus a tiny bit of black. I'm not gonna blend that too much. I don't want these two well blended. So I'm gonna take that dumb brown, and I'm just going to lightly blend between those colors. I'm gonna put a tiny bit more of the black in here. This is almost starting to dry, so I have to leave it alone. So this is the naphtha plus a tiny bit of carbon black, and maybe a tiny bit more of that carbon black. And this one is behind the other one, so it needs dark in there. I'm gonna wipe my brush, and I'm gonna go to the medium color, which is the natural red light. Oops, too much color. Blend there. Again to the dark, which is the accents and purple plus a tiny bit of black. And wipe my brush. I'm gonna put that medium color in the outside edge. And wipe my brush, and I'm gonna put the medium red rose, which is the light color, in there. Like that. And I don't wanna blend too much. I'm just going to mop it. Let's go to the next one, which is in here. So we are putting the let's put the light first. There's light in here. Let's go around with that was medium red rose, naphtha red light. Naphtha red is the medium. I'm gonna blend the white with some warm white. I'm losing my highlight in there. Put a tiny bit in here. And I'm going to not blend that too well. What I'm gonna do is wipe my brush. I have naphtha in my brush. I'm gonna just blend the edges, and I'm going to use the dumb brown. I want to put a tiny bit of the medium red rose in here. And I'm going to use the dome to blend the edges. Oops, that was white. And I want naphtha red light on my brush. Naphtha red light. It's like a hole in there. I'm just gonna put warm white in that hole. I added to my palette chrome green, diary light yellow, and burnt sienna. And I'm gonna start building the greens. This is chrome green. Sometimes I'm gonna take some of the diary light yellow with the chrome green. Let's take warm white with the chrome green. And I think I'm going to add a tiny bit of the color of the background, which was mistletoe, and blend with these paints. So chrome green and mistletoe. Also in here. And I'm gonna take the liner and permanent alizarin crystal plus naphtha red light, and it has red on the outside edge of the green. There's a line in here. Tiny bit of carbon black plus the alizarin crimson. And you can go into the naphtha red light. Wipe your brush. Go into the naphtha red light and medium red rose, and you can blend that in there. Continue with the green. It's not the color green that I want, so I'm gonna take another color and put it on my palette, and I will be right back. Okay, I have sap green on my palette, and up to dark, let's take a tiny bit of warm white and make it lighter, and see if this is gonna help. And I like better the sap green with the warm white. Let's continue putting the green in here. Sometimes you can pick more of the dark, and sometimes you can pick more of the warm white with the sap green, so you can change the colors in here. The beauty about this is when you put different values. So sometimes you can even put sap green alone, and then sometimes you add the white. And sometimes you can add some yellow. I'm gonna put burnt sienna and yellow. Burnt sienna yellow and warm white. That was too much water. Too much paint. Let's take that burnt sienna, the yellow, burnt sienna, the chrome green, and warm white. Way too much yellow. So I'm gonna go to chrome green plus pine plus titanium white. Let's see. The color that I want. The tip has some of the red too. So let's bring the alizarin crimson plus the naphtha. That's right, too dark for there. So we can blend that naphtha with the medium rose, red rose. Let's take some of the medium red rose and warm white plus the medium red rose. And blend that with the medium red rose without the white. And naphtol. The green is not as wide, so we can come with the red, and this was the medium red green, but we can take some alizarin plus a tiny bit of black, and in some areas make it darker. Alizarin plus black. Alizarin plus black. Okay, I want to put some highlights on that green, pine green plus warm white, and I'm gonna some areas. I'm just gonna put some highlight. Irregular. Everything in here is irregular. I think that's missing the green. So pine green in here. And it goes up to here. And let's put with white. That was too big. I need to take away some of that. So this is naphtol plus alizarin crimson. And let's break some of these too. Pine green. Pine green plus warm white. Areas that are lighter. Gonna clean my brushing water. I'm gonna remove the water and I'm gonna go into that sap green. Make some darker areas with the sap. Sometimes you can even take sap green plus black and make some darker areas on the green. I'm gonna blend this in here with the lighter color. Put the alizarin crimson plus black in here. And then it turns lighter, so let's take naphtol plus medium red rose, and I did not clean my brush, so I still have that dark color. So now we can take clean the brush in the paper towel and take some of the medium plus a tiny bit of warm white, and we can highlight this and mop it. That's a tiny section of red, and let's finish that one at the top. So we were doing this one in here, and we're going to put the naphtol in here. Alizarin plus black in here. There's a vein in there. This is a medium red rose. And naphthol. Let's take a tiny bit of alizarin crimson. And blend that with the medium red rose in here. Doesn't look like it's the same petal. So I'm going to use a mop or a dumb round in a second, but I want to finish putting the color. For now, we have it like that, and we are going to take the medium, and we're gonna highlight in here and in here. Medium plus one white. I'm gonna paint a leaf background color, which is the mistletoe, and chrome and yellow. Let's see. Let's put this as our base color. And from there, we don't want to lose that vein line, so let's take some warm white and put it in here so we know where the vein lines is. And continue with that color that we mixed. Okay, now we're gonna go into sap green, and we're just gonna start building our darks. Let's take tiny bit of sap green plus warm white, maybe a tiny bit of raw sienna, burnt sienna. And blend. You have to blend this with the color that you previously put in the background. And I want to remove all the excess. While it is wet, we can put a brain lines with a liner. Just add to your base coat color, add a tiny bit of warm white. And you can paint your vein lines while it is wet. It is better while it is wet. I think it would be more dramatic if we take the areas that doesn't have any pattern and we turn them into black. So I'm gonna do that, see what happens. Let's take pine green plus black and make a very dark green. Almost black, but it has pine green. And we're gonna put that as our I'm gonna put red alizarin plus naphthol, and I'm just gonna base coat that stem in there. Put a tiny bit of the medium. Let's do like that. Again, in the background, the pine green plus black. You're gonna start finding your design, and I will be right back. So you don't get confused, there is a leaf in here. So we put that combination of the mistletoe plus the chrome plus the diary yellow plus a tiny bit of black, and you can add more black to start shading. And even deepen it more in the corners. See, now that I have this black plus pine green in here, this is what you were gonna do in here. Let's add a tiny bit of extender to our brush, and you're gonna put that darker color in the next to the, like that. This is shading. Okay, I'm gonna blend that. I wipe my brush. I'm gonna just put extender and wipe it. I'm gonna finish putting the black plus pine green to find where my design is. Colors are looking too dark. You can take, this is naphtha red light. All these colors are very transparent. So I'm putting a transparent coat of the naphtha red lighting here. And I'm gonna do the same with the one on the back. And make sure that this petal, you have to finish it with here with alizarin crimson plus black, and finish that section in there. And we're gonna put more glazing, but I wanted to show you that. Let's work with this one in here. We need to have one white, a tiny bit of burnt sienna, and a small amount of yellow, diary light yellow. And first I'm gonna put this coloring here. I'm gonna take now some naphtha with a tiny bit of alizarin, and I'm going to tint on this side. Let's put some of that yellow also in here, like that, and it turns a tiny bit pinkier in there. So that yellow plus the medium red rose and pine green. Let's take a tiny bit more of the pine green in there. And I'm gonna blend the pine green with this creamy color that we blend in there. Sometimes we just want to see the pine green light. and alizarin crimson plus burnt sienna. That's a tiny bit of black. Forget to have the alizarin crimson in there. Take the alizarin crimson, make it deeper in here. And some areas you can make it deeper. Bring the green, pine green. Naphthol plus medium rose. In there. Think we can leave it like that. Want to take a light color, and I'm gonna take a tiny bit of the yellow, directly yellow, and a tiny bit of the burnt sienna, and then the chrome green and warm white. More of the warm white, and make it like a warm yellow. And I'm gonna use this color, the Americana color, and it's called Moon Yellow, and I'm gonna put that in my palette. But again, I'm gonna do the same treatment that I do with the Americana colors, and I'm gonna put extender on that paint. All the paints that I'm using, I put some extender. And I'm gonna take this color and I'm gonna put a tiny bit of the mistletoe and a tiny bit of the warm white. I want to do squiggly lines in here. Sometimes I want it to be more greeny, so I go into chrome green or the pine green. I'm gonna take the diary light and blend it. I have pine green, diary light, and moon yellow and warm white. On this other side, you also have some light sections. I'm gonna put this color as a highlighting here. That leaf needs some work in there. I'm gonna put with brown green and white. Let's put a vein on that leaf. It doesn't show, so even this color that we were using, we can put in there. And imagine where the veins are so that we can put more. Okay, so I cleaned those veins. I didn't like them, so I put more of the dark in here and a tiny bit of the mistletoe, chrome, and burnt sienna and warm white, and you can put some like that in there. So you see some movement in there, but you don't know what's happening in there. It's in the back. And since we have those colors mixed, I'm just gonna use water to wet this a tiny bit. I'm just gonna put a tiny bit of that light in there. So mistletoe, chrome, burnt sienna, diary light, warm white, maybe a small amount of pine green. Burnt sienna is what's gonna make it warmer, more into the earthy color. Let's see if we can put a highlight in there. Like that. Let's take some pine green and black. Oops, that was too dark. Too dark. for my area. Let's see, maybe not, because we want these kind of disappear, but not that much. So I'm gonna blend with the light that I have in, that I just mixed, and the one that I just told you to mix. Starting to disappear, but not as much. Let's put also some darker color in here so that it also blends with that outside edge. This is a medium plus naphthol, and there is a very light small one in here. Which we are going to shade now with a tiny bit of naphthol and black. And then wipe the brush, and we are going to put a tiny bit of naphthol. It's kind of curvy, and we don't know how the curve is until we put the dark underneath. So let's put the dark underneath. So we're gonna go to naphthol and a tiny bit of black, and it is, let's make like that in there. And the remainder is going to be the naphthol plus medium. Do not worry about that line, because we are going to later put that gold in there. Medium red rose, and it is like this. Is like that. And take some of the warm white and start making this lighter in there. I have too much paint on my brush. That brush was dirty. It brought some of the color, but it's okay. We can always go back and put the color. So this is naphthol. And we need to put alizarin crimson plus a tiny bit of black underneath, as there is another one, a small one in there. So in here, like that. Blend that with the naphthol. Don't let it grow. If you have the color in your brush, it's gonna still grow that dark. So clean the dark from your brush, wipe your brush, and then go into that naphthol. The dark keeps growing, so you have to completely wipe your brush if you wanna go into the lighter colors. Completely wipe my brush and go into plain warm white. This is naphthol. There, and it needs to be a tiny bit darker, so naphthol and a tiny bit of black. And there, cleaning the black, drying in the paper towel, and then going into my light, which is the medium red rose. Putting it in there, wiping completely so I can blend. Wiping the brush, going into the warm white. I think that I need some. Okay, and tiny bit of warm white in there, wipe it. I'm gonna go into the dawn brown. I'm gonna clean my dawn brown and dry it. Every time that you clean your dawn brown, you have to completely dry it. Okay, so that you're able to find this, I put some naphthol, and I'm gonna take now, without wiping my brush, I'm gonna take the medium red rose and put it on the bordering here, because it has a lighter border. And now I'm gonna take, wiping the brush, drying it, I'm gonna take alizarin plus a tiny bit of the black in some areas, making this deeper. And then with that naphthol that you have in there, wipe my brush. I'm gonna take now the medium, and I want this to be lighter in here. That's the medium. I wipe my brush, and I'm gonna go into the warm white, and I'm gonna highlight and wipe my brush. I'm gonna put the naphthol in here, naphthol and medium rose. And that back. Take some of that naphthol plus alizarin crimson on the outside edge. There is some movement behind these two, but they are like there's one stick in there, and there's another one in here, and another one in here. And we have to put some of the black in there. There may be another one in here. So some of those sticks, and that was with design crystal plus naphthol. And you're gonna clean your brush, and I'm gonna go into the medium rose, and you can highlight some of those. Gonna take the mixture of the black plus the pine green and put it in between there, and we'll be right back. Okay, let's paint this one in here, and I'm gonna take the naphthol again, and I'm gonna base coat with naphthol. And these colors are transparent colors. So one coat is not gonna be enough. When you start putting like the light color, which is the medium color, that one has white, so it's not as transparent. and then take the alizarin crimson plus the black, and the black you see it's transparent but not as transparent as this other one, and that's too much black, more of the alizarin. You want this one quiet because it's getting outside of the area here, but you don't want it completely dark. So I'm gonna blend that with, oops, see how dark it is? Clean my brush, and I'm going into that medium in there, and then with some naphthol. Now it's starting to cover. So now that it has covered, we can build it up more. So let's put I want to put the some purple. We're gonna use it for the first time. We're gonna blend that with the medium and warm white, and we're gonna put make a very light pinky lilac, and that's what we're gonna put in this one. I don't know what I put in there, but we're gonna put lilac on that one and wipe it, and I'm gonna blend with the naphthol. If you go into the black, you have to fix your black. Then I'm gonna go into that medium, put a tiny bit of highlight in here. And I think that's all I'm gonna do on that one. I don't wanna do too much. Make sure the edges are darker. This is naphthol. And I'm gonna leave that like that. Okay, I'm gonna try to find my center, and I'm gonna take moon yellow plus one white plus a small amount of burnt sienna, and these are gonna be like the top of those centers. So in order for us to find them, I'm gonna first find those tops, and then the remainder we are going to base coat in a second with the colors that I'm going to tell you. I think we have enough. Of these. Now let's take mistletoe plus moon yellow. See, I'm gonna check the color first, and this is the color that you're gonna use, and you're gonna use to base coat these, but we are going to shade and highlight I'm finding some areas that need black plus pine green. So I'm just going to base coat those so we know where they are, because we're going to put more of the red stems with the naphthol plus alizarin crimson. So let's find these areas of black, and I will be right back. So I found the red with the darker ones. You have to put alizarin crimson plus black, and then when you want to make the lighter ones, you have to add some of the medium and the naphthol. And now we are going to finish with that center, and I'm taking this mistletoe and I'm adding some of the moon yellow and burnt sienna, and sometimes they're gonna be gonna start shading them. Now I'm taking pine green with chrome, and I'm gonna blend that with the base coat color. Now there's a section lighter and in here, and then again to chrome and pine green. So I am not going to do all this on camera because we won't want a huge video. So I'm showing you a section, and I'm gonna show you what to do with it now. With the center, you're gonna take burnt sienna with a liner, and you are going to put some of this on that center, and that's all you're gonna do with that center. I did put a highlight of warm white in there, naphthol, and a tiny bit of black, and alizarin crimson. Maybe a tiny bit of warm white to make it not as black. And we are base coating the one in here. And I'm gonna base coat this, and I will be right back. Now I put that dark section in there, and now I'm gonna finish it with the medium red rose and tiny bit of naphthol in here to blend. Okay, I'm gonna leave it like that. Let's go to the next one. Okay, so naphthol. Putting naphthol. We're putting this is the medium red rose. Cleaning my brush, wiping, and naphthol. Blend that with naphthol. There's a section that is underneath the other one, so I have to put the alizarin plus, and then have the other one, go on top with the medium. The good thing is that we have extender, and our petal is not dry yet, so you can put that additional color if you need to. So we were putting naphthol around here. Then we're getting to a section where it has dark, so we're gonna go into the alizarin plus black. And we're gonna blend that, and we'll be right back. See, I do not blend that well. I like, this is naphthol. I like to leave things unblended, especially when I'm painting flowers. Naphthol. Running out of naphthol. But I am almost done with this one. And now I'm gonna go to the alizarin plus black. Then naphthol again. Then that in there. Two more petals to go, and then we're going to dry these and then start glazing. So this petal, I'm going to start with the medium in here because I don't want to lose that. That was too much paint. The medium in there, and I'm going to base the remainder with naphthol. because I noticed that if I do it this way, they are not as dark, but it's okay because these ones in here are gonna be lighter than the ones in the back. So it's okay if now they are lighter. So this is naphthol. And we have medium in there. And these are very colors that are very faint. They're very transparent. So I'm gonna put naphthol on this one completely, and I also now know that it's easier to do it this way. Goes up to, there's another one in there. So there's another one in there and goes to there. There's another one underneath. This color is drying because I didn't put the extender. So I'm gonna put the extender. I put extender on my brush. I'm putting back the naphthol. Let's put naphthol all in here, naphthol. Seeing that my brush may have some black, but I was putting naphthol. I'm gonna clean my brush, and now I'm gonna go into that medium. Start building my highlights. Medium. Now I want to make it with black plus alizarin crimson. Start building my darks in there. Gonna put this dark, and you know what I'm gonna do? I'm going to put it, I'm gonna wipe my brush, completely remove the black, completely remove that black, and blend it with the color that I already have in here. I need to put more of the black in the center, so alizarin crimson plus the black, and it is going to go, well, you know, we cannot put too much because we have to put the veins, and then we can put it on the veins, but I just put a tiny bit, and I'm gonna blend that with the naphthol, which is the color that we have. See, you have to clean your brush when you have that completely with water and wipe it, and then you can go into the color, because otherwise you're gonna bring that black to other places. And I make a hole there. So starting to dry, I have to leave it, but I'm just gonna put a tiny bit of the highlight, which was the warm white plus the warm white plus the medium. I don't want to completely blend this. I'm gonna use the tone brown and make sure it's clean. And just tickle the edges and leave it like that. We are gonna finish the next ones, and we're gonna dry these and glaze. Okay, we're gonna start on this one. with the section that is underneath the other one with the black plus the cream, alizarin crimson. I'm gonna clean the brush in water, and then I'm gonna go into my naphthol and finish the remainder with naphthol. Going to highlight a tiny bit with the medium. Brush seems to be dirty too. Yeah, that's, I'm cleaning it. Medium plus one white. I'm gonna wipe it and go into on the medium red rose. Wipe it, go into the naphthol and blend. Gonna blend with the dawn brown. Okay, tiny section. Tiny one in here, but I have to finish this in there. So that was black plus alizarin crimson here. Like that. You can put a tiny bit more of the black and make it even deeper and put it in there. Okay, I'm gonna finish with those two, and I'm gonna start with naphthol. Gonna base coat with naphthol, and I will be right back. Okay, adding the alizarin plus black in that corner, in the middle, and I am accidentally putting on top of this ring. That's okay, because we are going to later we're gonna base coat that underneath the greenery. Let's finish putting all this red in here, alizarin plus black to make it deeper. When it's at edge, you want to put some of the naphthol in that edge. There's another one in there. I'm gonna paint that one, and we're gonna be up to the stage for glazing. It's coated with naphthol, and I'm gonna go. I have some black when I started, so it has some darker in there. Now I'm gonna go into the medium and highlight a tiny bit in here. And I'm gonna leave it like that for the second stage, and we're gonna dry these. We have to glaze not only poinsettia, but we have to glaze the leaf and we have to glaze the center. So let's completely dry it, and we're gonna glaze it. Before I glaze, I'm gonna put glazing medium, and I'm gonna let it dry for 30 minutes. So I'm gonna put in a clean place on my palette. You need a cream blush that is not too small. Okay, let's use this one since it's not in good condition. Like that. One coat of this glazing medium. And we're gonna let it dry for 30 minutes, and we'll be right back. Okay, so I gave a coat of glazing, and I took Dazzling Metallic Royal Ruby, and I gave a first coat of this color in there, and this is Moss Pearl, and I gave the first coat of color in here. It's, for example, in here, I don't like the way it turned out. I was using a liner, so remember that was sap green plus black is the color that we put on the background, and you can come in here and make that skinnier like that. So anything is fixable. I'm gonna just make that skinnier. With the sap green plus black. I'm gonna let that dry before putting any, trying not to wet it with the extender, because now we're gonna use our extender. I'm blending, and we are going to put it in our palette. I'm gonna take a dry brush, and we're gonna use it to put this extender. And I'm not gonna put it on top of my metallic. Not going to put it on top of the metallic, only on the areas that we're gonna glaze. See how it looks when it is wet? That's the way it is gonna look when you varnish it. But still, it looks pretty, but still we have to do some more work on here. Right now it has a lot of extender. And I'm gonna let it stand for a second before I start doing something with it. Because I wet it a lot. Let it dry for a second. I'm doing it this way because it is I'm working with the air conditioning here, and sometimes it dries things faster. I am going to start with that star beautiful one in there. It's looking sad. I'm going to take some of the medium red rose. Again, I'm putting some extender on my paint, and I'm going to put a small amount of this one, and you'll see how it starts reviving in there. And it seems that it has too much of the extender yet. Let's put it in there. We may have to do this and glaze again. That was not appropriate color in there. Let's see, we're gonna put, since we put the medium, let's just put the medium everywhere that we need to. The mop, the dawn brown. It is extremely wet, and I don't like what is happening. So if you don't like something and you have extender, it's easy to clean. Just take some of the extender, put it, and you're supposed to be able to clean it. I need the warm white. I'm gonna put a tiny bit of extender to the warm white too. And I'm gonna clean both of these brushes. And I have a problem here, and it is that my water is extremely dirty, so I'm gonna clean my water and return. Okay, that probably now the blending and glazing is not that wet, so I want to put with a liner a tiny bit of the warm white. I'm gonna take and blend that with the on the edges. I'm gonna blend with this color, which was the medium. We need to have also in our palette some of the naphthol red with extender. Okay, we are trying to make these lighter than the others. Let's put a vein on that one. We are trying the light in here in this side and the dark on that side. So we're gonna make these ones lighter than those. And I'm gonna put a vein with the medium. maybe the medium with a tiny bit of warm white. I'm gonna put my veins and I'm gonna return. You can, this is a naphthol, and I'm putting naphthol lightly and some of the medium lightly, and see how you can make something brighter, and then you can take strong whites in there. And that was extremely strong, not that strong. So what do? You can blot it. Make sure you don't bring that color someplace else like I did. You need to have extender because that's what you're gonna use to clean the places that you don't want to. Then I'm gonna go to the medium color and break some of that. I'm gonna finish putting my vein lines, and I will return when I have all the veins in place. Okay, I have the veins that I wanna put. I wanna start putting more of the highlights. So this is the medium plus the white, and I'm gonna put it one white. I'm gonna put it in here. Okay, we're gonna glaze the leaf. Every time that I put a color from my palette, I put some extender. I'm mixing the moon yellow plus the chrome plus the burnt sienna, and I am gonna start building some highlights in here. And I'm gonna blend that with the chrome and with the sap green. Put some sienna, you can even put some sienna brown alone. I'm gonna blend with my dome. I want to put it darker underneath that petal, so I'm going to take the sap green plus the black, and I'm going to put a tiny bit of dark in there and blend it with my dome. I also want to put a tiny bit more of this black plus sap green between the veins like this. I think that's all I'm going to do with this leaf. The one in the back, I'm just gonna leave it like the way it is. And okay, I'm gonna clean my brushes. I'm gonna do the same with the poinsettias, this time with black plus alizarin crimson. And I'm gonna do that in between. Now what happened, that it seems to be without the, I'm gonna put a tiny bit of the extender. I have a brush that has extender, and I just wanna put dark in between these. And leave it alone. Since I have these, I can put it in other places. This is so much fun. Oops. So I'm glazing darker. So I am making the in between the veins darker with alizarin crimson and black, more of the alizarin than the black, and I'm making sure that it is very dark in between the veins. Now I do want to make the ones on the front, I want to give them a tint of orange. I'm going to take vermilion and I'm going to put a small amount of vermilion on my palette, and I'm going to put extender with the vermilion. Okay, I'm going to take that vermilion. Let's see what happens. See, this I've not done before, so I'm going to make this one a tint of vermilion in there, and let's bring some of the naphtol. See how different it's gonna be different. This is brighter than the one in the back, which is more toward the purple. Maybe we can bring that vermilion also in this tip. And in this tip. It's so much fun to play with color. Okay, we don't want that vermilion in the back, only on the front. I want to check if I want to put it a tiny bit of that vermilion also in here. I'm gonna take the alizarin and I wanna put alizarin in there. See, I want to now bring the purple into the ones in the back. Some cast shadows with the purple. So I'm gonna bring the dioxazine purple and I'm gonna mix that with one white and maybe a tiny bit of alizarin to make it a red purple. Okay, let's see. Maybe in here in the back, in here, some purple. Let's blend that. Blend that with a tiny bit of crimson. Oops, I have to clean the brush if I want to bring that crimson. I think I'm gonna put that orange in this side, like that. That way, it is not completely dark as the ones in the back. Tiny bit of the orange on this side. And I need to put another highlight in there. So I'm gonna take the orange plus one white and the medium rose. I was working on the one in the back. Let's take crimson, alizarin crimson with a tiny bit of the purple. And the edge is darker. And now we can put that lighter. Okay, let's see. Let's make alizarin crimson plus the black. And let's make this in here darker. We have to put some of the green, and this is probably the last thing I'm gonna do. Take a liner, and we are going to put some of the green. Let's take that mixture that we did, the light mixture that we did with the moon yellow, the sienna, and the chrome, and we are going to bring this green a tiny bit also on this edge until it reaches there. It does have a small amount of the green in this side. time I'm taking only the diaccent plus the warm white, and I'm gonna put a tiny bit of that in this one in the back. Let's take alizarin and blend that with alizarin. I like what's happening in there, so I'm just gonna fix that one. This is the naphthol. Oops, seems to have light on my brush, so I have to wipe it with water, clean it with water. I'm gonna go in naphthol plus alizarin. And I need to go into some of that black with this mixture and shade in some areas. Let's leave it like that. Maybe a tiny bit of the purple in there. Oops, more of the purple than the white. Glycerin. Gonna bring a glycerin into this one. It looks too much brown. I don't know. It looks like it doesn't belong. Okay, so I am gonna analyze my piece. I think I like what I have so far. And if I see anything that I need to change, I will let you know. But so far, I like what I have. It was not, the next step that we're gonna do is I'm gonna show you how to do the metal hanger. And then the hanger with metal hanger with the beads. Okay, we'll be right back. I do want to bring that leaf because she is one of the most interesting. Okay, so I'm gonna put this is some of the moon yellow in here. And I don't think we have any extender left in there. Let me wet it a tiny bit with the extender. And the moon yellow is dry, so some of the moon yellow in there. The light green we mixed with the moon yellow and the burnt sienna and the chrome. Remember that light? Let's put some here and there. Some of that light. I'm gonna take the naphthol and I'm gonna try to revive it a tiny bit with the naphthol in here. Naphthol. It's gonna bring it a tiny bit to life. Oops. That was a lot, but maybe I'm gonna leave it. Let's see. Alizarin crimson and naphthol. This is one of the ones that we did at the beginning, and I was experimenting with the colors, so it turned out too dark. That was, I put some alizarin crimson on that one in the edge. Okay, let's bring that alizarin crimson. Seems to be a nice color without the black. And seems to be bringing it to life. Let's put some alizarin crimson on the ones in the back. especially some areas that seems to be too completely dark. Since that I'm not gonna let you finish ever with this. Glycerin crimson. It seems to be reviving everything. So I took alizarin crimson and I put a glaze of alizarin crimson on all of them, and now they look better. And now I'm going to shade with pine green some of these. I'm gonna take pine green and black and deepen some of the shadings, those tiny things in the center. Deepen some of the shading with the pine green plus black. Okay, and it's alizarin crimson plus black. Don't forget that these are gonna have some cast shadows. So make sure you have some cast shadows of these things in there. Analyze my highlights, and I want to strengthen this highlight and that one, and a tiny bit on these two petals, and that's the last thing that I'm gonna do. See, I'm gonna take one white and try to put it only with one white. And then in the others, I'm gonna put the one white with yellow and the medium color. And so that they are not as strong as the other. There and here. Since that my extender dried. So what you do with the beads, you're gonna buy the beads that you like, and you're gonna put them in a wire, and you can take a pencil or a tool and go around like that with the wire, and you are going to, I close it in there, but I'm gonna put this wire in here, and it's gonna go through because it already comes prepared for the wire, because this is an ornament, and you're gonna pass it through there all the way down, and you are going to close it at the end. So you need a tool. This is the way that you're gonna hang it. You can make them, it doesn't have to be this long. You can make a shorter one. I have this prepared already, so that's what I'm using. See what I'm doing? I don't have a tool, so I'm just using my brush to close it down there. If you do that, it's not going to it's not gonna fall. So I hope you like what we did. Thank you for joining us.